Mexico, mostly over territory, and victory acquired a large landmass, which now makes up the modern states of Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California. And directly after that, floods of American settlers came into this area seeking land and fortune and opportunity. Well, that caused a conflict with the Chiricahua, then a full-blown war. Whenever you got a war, you got a need for bases of operations. So in 1877, the United States Army opened up Fort Huachuca, 23 miles south of here. Fort Huachuca is still in operation today. Now, the Army put that fort there as a front during the Apache Indian Wars, but it also became a jumping off point for a lot of those settlers and fortune seekers coming into this area. And one of them was a prospector named Ed Shefflin. So Ed Shefflin was over there at the fort looking at a map and making plans to come up into this exact area, an area which had not yet been charted. So those Army scouts were concerned for him. After all, this was the home of Geronimo. His band of Chiricahua were running rampant at that point. So those Army scouts, they warned Mr. Shefflin straight up. They said, if you do indeed go up there looking for your minerals, the only kind of a rock or stone you're likely to find will be your own tombstone. Well, luckily for us, Mr. Shefflin was a stubborn man. He did not heed those Army Scout warnings. He made several excursions up here looking for his minerals. Then one day, by sheer luck or grace of God or whatever you want to call it, he looked out on the desert and laying right on top of the ground was a silver vein, 8 inches wide by 12 feet long, right over here where the Good Enough Mine Tour is today. And it was customary in those days to name your claim. So he decided he'd call it the Tombstone because of those Army Scout warnings. So he camped, and then the town grew up around the silver. But when this town was first established, it wasn't called Tombstone. That was just the silver claim. The original name for this town was Goose Flats. Goose Flats. Well, that name didn't stick around too long, thank God. In 1879, the miners got together and incorporated the town. They got talking about it. They said, that's a stupid name. They decided to rename it Tombstone in honor of Mr. Shefflin and his silver. I'm glad they did, too, I tell you. Because I can't imagine Kurt Russell and Val Kilmer making a movie called Goose Flats. So the town grew up around the silver. By 1880, we boasted a population of 20,000 people. The truth be told, we don't know how many people were here, because see, they thought differently back then. In order to be part of the census, you had to be male and you had to be a landowner. So there might have been 25 or 30,000 people here, more. We just don't know for sure. What we do know is that Tombstone got very big. In fact, at one point, this was the largest town city between St. Louis and San Francisco. Now, to give you an idea of just how big we got, Allen Street, the historical street up here, at one point had 106 saloons on it. Wow, 106 saloons. I don't know about you folks, that's my idea of heaven. But it's also a recipe for disaster. I mean, think about it. You got 106 saloons on one street. And at any given time, you've got several hundred drunken cowboys, miners, and gamblers, all of them armed. You don't have to be a very good mathematician, I don't think, to figure out the end result. It was chaos and mayhem. Now, as far as the red light district goes, that too was big business here. The red light district began at the Birdcage Theater. It was 2 blocks wide by 8 blocks long. And at one point, Tombstone had 3,400 registered ladies of the night. 3,400.